everybody, Tom Barnish, Chicago scene, enjoying the sights and sounds of the Chicago River. And times have changed. Gentlemen enjoying some fishing, people walking along the bank here, enjoying all the things that are the Chicago River. And that's cause for celebration, and that's what's happening this Sunday with the big summer float party by the Friends of the River, starting here at River Park along this boat dock here where people can kind of get their best floaties, hop in the water, and take a nice stroll down the river to Clark Park that's bound by Addison in California at the boathouse there. But this is one of the amenities along the Chicago River that just didn't exist years ago. It's 150 years, the water hasn't been as clean as it is now, and that's cause for celebration. And that's all about what Friends of the River are doing with this big float party. So I'm going to talk to Tim Toohey, tell us all about the float party and why people should know that you can hop in the river and take a nice stroll along a floaty. All right, so here's an example of just how much the Chicago River has changed over the years. That used to be a dam for years and years. Now it's opened back up. Fish can traverse north, and my friend here, Tim, will explain all of this and the big float party that's happening this weekend in Chicago. How are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm great. It's a beautiful day on here in the Chicago River at River Park.
Yeah, so tell me about the event that you have coming up and what it is celebrating, because I think that's the big key here, the message, because right now where we're standing didn't really exist years ago, and that's also part of the celebration of how people are using the river, including the gentleman behind you fishing, which just didn't see for years.
That's right. What's happening is Chicago's first summer float party on the Chicago River. And so we're going to see hundreds of people out here on their inflatable toys and unicorns and zebras and all sorts of fun floats. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be floating from River Park to Clark.
Where we're at now, right?
Yeah, we're at River Park now, and they're going to be getting into the water here at River Park and meandering down to Clark Park, and then we're going to have an after float party celebration. So what that is about really is a day of adventure and advocacy. It's
right.
Adventure because you get to float the Chicago River, on a beautiful day with hundreds of people. But it's also advocacy. It's an opportunity then for those people for participating and others who learn about it to understand that the Chicago River is a natural resource that needs to be improved and protected.
Right, and I think the big message here is that it's safe to be in the water. I mean, there's a lot of Chicagoans, we were talking off camera before, there's a certain generation, they're like, oh, the river? I'm not going in the river, that's nuts. But that has changed a lot over the years. I mean, it's the cleanest the river's been in 150 years, and that's saying something. I mean, the river, people remember like Bubbly Creek and things like that, and now you have a guy fishing, there's people on the water just walking around, and that's like the big celebration where you want people to know that, yeah, we're gonna go down the river and these floaties. It's totally fine. This is what we want people to do. That's what the river's for.
Yeah, the Chicago River is a wonderful natural resource. Chicagoans, we have another beautiful natural resource that we know of is Lake Michigan.
Right.
And the Chicago River and the Calumet River, this is all great natural resources too that we need to continuously work on to improve. But I think you're right. I think the mindset is starting to change for folks. It's starting to change for policymakers that create laws and regulations around the river system. And it's changing too for your average Chicagoan who maybe historically might have thought of the river as, it's dirty, don't go near that water, to a new understanding that the river water, the water quality is dramatically cleaner. Mm-hmm. Wildlife is rebounding in the river, and people are now embracing the river and coming to the water to use it as recreation.
And that's what's happening this weekend. People are going from this park down to Clark Park, which is right off of Addison and California, right around there. There's a beautiful boathouse there, but celebrating the river and all that has come along with it, including what we're standing on right now. This dock here is a thing that probably didn't exist very long ago, where it even has a chute for kayakers. I mean, that's how much the city and the state really want to encourage being able to use the river safely.
That's right. I think for a lot of people that see the river, they're used to seeing the main stem of the river, which is in the downtown area. Sure. So that might be the image that comes to mind. But the river stretches north and south. We have a 156-mile river system. And now what we're seeing is trails and docks and boat launches up and down the river system. A beautiful Eleanor Street boathouse down in the Bridgeport neighborhood. We're at a beautiful dock here in River Park. There's a great boathouse in Clark Park. So these things are coming online, and people are using them, and they're seeing wildlife close up in the river. The herons, the osprey, beavers. We've seen fish species rebound. In the late 1970s, there were about a handful of fish species found in the Chicago River, 5 or 7. Now there's more than 75.
That's incredible, and that's a short amount of time to get that all back, naturally, and this speaks to what the volume, the clarity of the water, and the safety of the water, for sure.
Yeah, when you think about it, in 1979, Friends of the Chicago River was formed. At that time, it would have been inconceivable, the thought of floating down the river on a beautiful recreational afternoon. And we can do that now. And we can do that now because the water quality is dramatically improved. But it didn't happen just because. It happened because there's been a lot of advocacy, a lot of hard work put in by Friends of the Chicago River and our partners and other government agencies that help us improve the water quality.
Absolutely, and people want to learn more information about it or get tickets to this event that is this weekend. What's the best way for them to go about doing that?
Sure. ChicagoRiver.org is the best way to learn more about the river. In addition to Summer Float Party, we do kayaking events, paddling events, litter cleanups all year round. So check us out at ChicagoRiver.org.
Tim, thanks a lot for spending the morning with me and indulging all my questions about the Chicago River. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks very much, and we look forward to seeing you at the river.
Absolutely. And that is the Chicago scene for today. TBARNAS at WGNTV.com. If you have a suggestion for the Chicago scene, that's TBarness at WGNTV.com. We'll keep quiet so we don't disturb this gentleman fishing out here in the Chicago River. See you Sunday.